Welcome to Freda Chando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to start by saying that I'm very much grateful for the support that you've rendered to this channel ever since we started. Allow me to request you in a very special way, if you have not subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you when we do another video like this. Kindly give our videos more likes so that YouTube can recommend them to more viewers. Now, Ghana. That was a close shave, but it's okay. The 3-2, I know in that team, if Ghana plays well, they're gonna go to the next group. And we wish all our African teams all the best. Viva Africa. I want to say this, ladies and gentlemen. There is a story that has been trending about Gachagua rallying call to the Mount Kenya members of parliament to come together and unite. And many experts thought that Gachagua had started a process of trying to coalesce all the members of parliament, all the leaders in Central around him. But the worrying trend here is that this rallying call never went past 2 days, because two things happened almost at the same time, simultaneously. Gachagua was taking credit that he's the one who rallied all the Mount Kenya leaders to vote for Kanini Kega. And Kanini Kega, you know, is a strong supporter of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So when they were fronted for the East African Legislative Assembly, Kanini Kega defeated Jeremiah Kiuni, who is the Secretary General of the Jubilee Party. And our Deputy President was taking that credit that were it not for him, Kanini Kega would have not made it to the Yala seat. But this call never went further, because at the same time, there is a governor who was also complaining that they were shortchanged, that the MPs, members of parliament for Rift Valley, ganged up to ensure that there was no member of Mount Kenya leadership to the Legislative Assembly. And this almost brought bad blood between them. But experts are asking a question. Why do you think Gachagua, who's the deputy president, are now being perceived as the leader in Mount Kenya, started an initiative to rally unity among Mount Kenya leaders, but it did not go far? And they're saying that Gachagua does not enjoy a massive support from Mount Kenya. And two things happens here, ladies and gentlemen. During the election of a running mate, when the Mount Kenya, or rather Kenya Kwanza, wanted someone to depute as Ruto, and they were given an opportunity to vote and elect who was going to depute as William Ruto, most Mount Kenya leaders voted for Kithure Kindiki. And they did not like Gachagua. To date, Gachagua has not worked hard to convince and persuade them that he is the man who they should rally their support to. I keep on asking one question. Currently, as we speak, who is the leader of Mount Kenya? Because I always say that in Rift Valley, William Ruto is definitely the kingpin, because people like Isaac Ruto and Alfred Keter tried to wrestle this power. They are no more. People like Kutun. And William Ruto has established himself and pronounced himself as the Rift Valley kingpin. In Nyanza, Raila Amolo Odinga is undisputed. He's the undisputed kingpin of Nyanza. And people like Miguna have now flown out of the country because they realized that Raila is an enigma. He wanted to liberate the Luo nation from his hands, and he realized it is not a walk in the park. So who is the ultimate kingpin in Central Province? Is he still Uhuru Kenyatta? Is he Rigathi Gachagua? Who? And please tell me if you're coming from Mount Kenya. Number two, it is believed that prior to the just concluded elections, William Ruto studied the conduct of his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, and he knew for a fact that he must put checks and balances to the big man, because Rigathi Gachagua is a go-getter and is very active. He's not a passive man who will sit and wait when things are going wrong. And William Ruto perceived that maybe the problem that bedeviled their second term with Uhuru Kenyatta would resurface in their regime with Rigathi Gachagua. And so he placed checks and balances. And one of the people who was appointed to ensure that he monitors Rigathi Gachagua fully is none other than Ndindi Nyoro. Have you ever asked yourself why Ndindi Nyoro never got a place in the cabinet slot and he did not campaign and he did not complain? Because most of the closest Ruto allies were rewarded with the cabinet slots. Talk of Aden Duale, Murkomen, Alice Wahome, name them. But Ndindi Nyoro, who is still a young man, a staunch supporter of William Ruto, missed out on an opportunity to become a cabinet secretary. Yet he has not even complained. Ndindi Nyoro was left out intentionally, so that he was given a free role to ensure that he monitors what is going on in Mount Kenya. Because William Ruto knows very well that he got a massive support from the Mount Kenya leaders and Mount Kenya electorates. And he knew very well that with the time, Central might even decide that they want to rally around one of their own. And because William Ruto still needs them for 2027, they must be people who are not fully united. And I've always repeated that if they should unite, then they should unite around William Ruto and not around Rigathi Gachagua. Because the moment they rally around Rigathi Gachagua, that is the day when Ruto is finished, because William Ruto will have to pass by Rigathi Gachagua if he is going to Central. And that is what William Ruto does not want. I remember before Uhuru Kenyatta became that kingpin, he was declared by the late Michuki. Because back then, we still had, the power was still revolving around two people. They wanted someone to take over from Kibaki. And there were people who were flouting Peter Kenneth, and others were still thinking that maybe it is Uhuru Kenyatta. And Michuki came up one day and said that our leader is Uhuru Kenyatta, and if you have to come to Mount Kenya maybe for negotiation, or you want votes, or you want support, you must come through Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And that was the day that Uhuru got that endorsement and he became a kingpin. And William Ruto does not want a situation where he has to pass through someone before he gets to the people. This is the reason why he has endeared himself to the churches in Central. He has endeared himself to the people in Central, so that if he wants to meet the people, he will not have to pass through Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua made himself and fought for that position. There was a story that was carried that even after the people voted in support of Kithure Kindiki, Rigathi Gachagua bullied his way and he took it. And as always it happens, in politics you don't have to wait. So William Ruto has placed checks and balances, and Ndindi Nyoro is one of them. Ndindi Nyoro is a young man. Ndindi Nyoro is rich. It is said that there's a story that was running in the mainstream media that he is the highest shareholder in KPLC, if I'm not wrong. So he's got money. And there are some articles, people are speculating that Ndindi Nyoro could be eyeing the biggest prize. Because in 2027, there might be another chance for Kenya Kwanza to be given an opportunity to vote for someone who they want to depute as William Ruto. And very many people say that Ndindi Nyoro is going to be a force to reckon with, that he might even present himself for a position as a deputy president. In fact, after William Samoei Ruto, I have heard many pundits saying that Ndindi Nyoro might pair up with another candidate and Mount Kenya will rally their support around him. Something that has become a tall order for the deputy president, because it's said that deputy president has not convinced his people that they can, he is lacking the unifying factor in him, because a real leader must be one that can unify everyone around him. Between Gachagua and William Ruto, this is a question that I've always put before. If they were to contest for a presidency, who do you think the hustler in Mount Kenya will vote for? Will he vote for Rigathi Gachagua because what is one of their own, or will he vote for William Samoei Ruto? Who is popular in Central? Who is popular in Mount Kenya between the two? Because Rigathi Gachagua must work hard to ensure that these leaders are coalescing around him. So Ndindi Nyoro was given a free role because it was argued that if he is given a cabinet slot, then his hands will be tied. As a cabinet minister, sometimes you are not allowed to play politics. Remember in the last, during the last campaigns, William Ruto complained about people like Fred Matiang'i, whom he said, John Mushere, whom he said that are supposed to be working to ensure that the government realizes its dreams, yet they were playing politics in favor of Raila Odinga. So he does not want a situation where Ndindi Nyoro is a cabinet secretary, but he still plays politics. And that is why Ndindi Nyoro was left out to play a bigger role. And if there is anything that is political, you will see Ndindi Nyoro more than any other politician in Central. You see, people like Alice Wahome are always very active, but now their hands are tied. There are things that they do with a lot of caution because they fear they will be accused of playing politics, yet they are public officers. So this is the role that Ndindi Nyoro was given. And I understand that Ndindi Nyoro is closely monitoring Rigathi Gachagua, whatever he does, and is placed there so that should anything happen, then William Ruto will simply pick him up and he will tell Mount Kenya people that here I have a young man, let's move on. In one of my analysis, one of my subscribers and a great supporter from Central told me that Rigathi Gachagua can never attempt to go against William Ruto, because I'm told William Ruto has entrenched himself so much in Mount Kenya that there is no any other leader from Mount Kenya who can unseat him. That question, that discussion will only happen if he exits power. How true is this, ladies and gentlemen? And I want to put it to you that even as we speak, Rigathi Gachagua knows very well the role that Ndindi Nyoro is playing. And it is the reason why even the rallying call that Rigathi Gachagua started could not go beyond the first 2 days. Even the question of they were shortchanged by members of parliament from Rift Valley did not go far, because people expected that after saying this, people like Ndindi Nyoro would run with that narrative. But as it was, it never happened. And ladies and gentlemen, the political blood between Rigathi Gachagua and Ndindi Nyoro is one that is not very palatable. And that is my take.